Hey folks, it's Lyle. Before we get into the episode, I wanted to let you know that tickets are on sale now for Therapy Gecko Live in all of these cities, and you can get them at therapygeckotour.com before they sell out. The shows will involve bringing folks from the audience up on stage to talk to a gecko about whatever they want, just like we do in this podcast. These shows are completely unplanned, completely unpredictable, and they will be a lot of fun, so I hope to see you there. All right, let's get into the episode.
I drove the Oscar Meyer Wienermobile as a job. Someone came up, they're like, yeah, I'm actually here to protest. Can we take a look inside? So I'm just like, sure. I guess. I shouldn't
You
say no
let
to people
her
and make them
into
mad.
the Wienermobile? Hi, who is this?
Hello, this is Dijon.
Dijon. What's happening?
Not too much, Geck. Not too much. Before I ask you what is happening, I want to first, if you're willing to answer, what sparked your little mindfulness trip that you have been referencing lately?
Mindfulness trip that I've been referencing lately. Let me think. Oh, well, in case if this is out of I don't know if this might be out of context. I don't know where I'm going to put this call in the podcast, but yes, I have been talking about trying to protect my peace more. What sparked it? Fuck it. I'll talk about it. I don't know. I went insane. I realized that my life and my decisions and I just realized I was kind of running on an engine that was fueled by fear and anxiety and stress and guilt and shame, and that is not a good way to live at all. That's not a worthy life. And so I'm trying to not let that happen again. It's inevitably going to, because you never really you never fully solve any of your problems. You just kind of have to keep mentally lifting weights, and yeah. So I'm on a little kick now, and I don't know where I'm going to put this. I don't know where this call will be contextually in the podcast, but I have been talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that interested me because, I mean, as you are the guy who talks to people about a very wide variety of things, I always wonder when you're saying, like, you've been thinking about these things lately, like, where it came from. Because obviously we just see these few hours a few times a week, but whatever you're doing outside of that is obviously what's going to, like, spark these thoughts, I assume, at least. Yeah.
I don't know. I debate how much to share on here because but I actually feel good. Like, you know, even just telling you just now everything I just told you felt good because, I mean, I'm always other people are telling me what's going on with them, so I feel like I should talk about what's going on with me. And I don't want people to think that I don't want people to think that I'm happy all the time, because it's not true.
Sure.
And I don't want people to have this false idea that, like, I am some sort of man of any kind of knowledge and peace that is spreading that to other people, because I mean, I am sometimes. I don't know. I'm figuring myself out, as is everyone who is talking to me on this show, and also lots of people who are not talking to me in this show. Lots of people who are in, Tibet, have no idea who I am, and are trying to figure out their lives, regardless of my show at all.
True. Very true.
All right, Dijon, enough of this shit. It says here, Dijon. You know what? Fuck you. You tell me. I want you to tell me what it says here.
You. Okay. Well, I appreciate everything you just said, though. Seriously. So something like what it probably says there is, I drove the Oscar Meyer Wienermobile as a job for a year, and I had some experiences. I had some stories for sure, and one of them was a protest that happened while I was doing an event. Is that something like what you got?
Well, it is now that you have told it to me. What is this? What is this protest?
So are you familiar with the Oscar Meyer Wienermobile in any capacity?
The Oscar Meyer Wienermobile, from what I'm familiar with, is a giant hot dog car.
Mm-hmm. That is exactly correct.
Is there any other important information that I or the people listening need to know about the Oscar Meyer Wienermobile that I did not just cover?
No. 27-foot long hot dog on wheels is a pretty good wrap up of what that is, for sure. It is important that it is a hot dog, though, because the protest was an anti-meat protest of sorts. So we were at an event at a grocery store. Stop me if you have questions, of course. Hanging out. We give out wiener whistles and stickers and coupons at these said events. And just like have fun, play games, try to make people smile, try to make someone's day, that kind of stuff. And someone comes up. It started as a really positive thing because someone came up and I had a great conversation with them, and they're like, yeah, I'm actually here to protest after about 15 minutes of talking about life and what we do. And I was a little naive. I tried to be positive and not think terrible things. So I just went, oh, for what? And she was like, this, man, what do you, and I was like, oh, we just talked. I thought we were friends. Like, what just happened? I just kind of panicked. I was like, oh, no. Because shit got real. So like 20 of her protesting friends roll up, and one of them is in, like, you know how like the Muscle Museum exhibits look? It's like a skin suit type of deal. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, why don't you explain it?
So they were in like a full-body suit that just looked like the inside of a body. It was like the point of it was that it was like a slaughtered animal. Like she was wearing a pig nose. It was like a slaughtered pig costume, if you will. So that person comes up in that like suit and is like, hey, can we take a look inside? And the job, you're called a hot dogger, right? And there's two of us. My hot dogger partner was inside the store, like trying to figure stuff out. So I'm just like, sure, I guess. I shouldn't.
You let her into the Wienermobile? You let the PETA meat suit wearing person into the hot dog mobile?
I know.
You would have been killed instantly in the war, Dijon. Oh my God.
I blew it, man. I don't know what to tell you. I blew it. I know. I was just too nice. My job was to be nice.
She was there to put C4 in the fucking thing and blow it up.
And it would have been my fault. There's no way around that. It would have been totally my fault. But I let her in. They started taking pictures, and like it was weird because she was doing like peace sign pictures. She wasn't doing like mean, like protesty pictures, whatever that might mean. She was like doing like poses, like this is fun kind of thing. And I was like, this is kind of strange. So she was in there for like 10 seconds maybe before like I said, the other hot dogger came out and was like, hey, you guys got to go. She was much smarter than I. She would have been fine in the war that you mentioned for sure. But did them out. She was like, you guys got to go. And she was like, hey, we should try to leave. So we try to call the bosses. We can't get a hold of them. And as we're trying to figure ourselves out and figure out if we can leave or not, they have gathered outside the Wienermobile. Like I said, like 20, 30 people. And they're in kind of a circle with the person in the suit that I let in earlier, if you recall, in the middle. And she's kind of doing like some sort of street performing, street art kind of deal. And once we kind of get a look, we realize that she is kind of like acting as a pig on its way to slaughter. Yeah. And she's like crawling on the ground and like making like squealing pig noises, like all out, all of it.
That's kind of awesome.
Respect for how hard they went. Yeah, truly. Like this next part is they went even harder because
she didn't kill herself, did she?
She did. Well, I can't honestly confirm that, but no. we left eventually, but she pretty much acted out doing that because they went into the store that we were at and they bought a bunch of ketchup, right? And they came back out and she slaughtered as the pig now. So she was on her way to the slaughter. Now she's being slaughtered as the pig. And there's like 3 people with ketchup bottles just spraying ketchup all over this woman in a skin suit, like inside of a pig full body suit as she like squeals on the ground and is like contorting her body and like just screaming and being sprayed with ketchup by multiple people next to the Wienermobile, which by the way is like a family friendly, like bring your kids, bring your grandma, we'll get stickers to everyone, have a great day. That's what we want to portray. And everything I just told you is happening literally 10 feet from the Wienermobile, where we are, right there.
And how are people reacting to this display, the civilians that are gathered?
Pretty much just like us, which was not wanting to watch, but not able to look away. Because you can't just walk by that and not wonder, right? Like there's a lady on the ground yelling, being sprayed by other adults with ketchup. And you're like, what's going on? There's a gigantic hot dog on wheels and there's people screaming next to it. What's going on? And there's a couple kids, there was a wide variety of people, and they're just standing and watching.
Do you think they got to anyone? Like, did they make anyone put down their hot dog?
You know what? I don't think they did.
Wow.
Not on that particular day.
You're telling me this woman wore a suit of meat, crawled around on a parking lot floor, made squealing pig noises, and had people throw ketchup on her for nothing.
No, there is a world out there where maybe she just enjoyed doing that and does it for fun, not outside the Wienermobile. And then it wouldn't be for nothing, it'd be for enjoyment, like how I play video games, or, you do whatever you like to do. There's a chance. But in terms of making someone put their hot dog down in the moment, I just don't know if it hit the way that they wanted it to.
So, Dejan, it says that you drove the Oscar Meyer Wienermobile for a year. It says that you drove it to 30 plus different countries? Like you drove it out of America?
You know what? When you said that, it made me realize that I think I did say that out loud, but I 100% meant to say states.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, you had to. I don't think you were driving it around in fucking, Afghanistan.
I was not. No, it was very much a U.S. thing. It has been outside the U.S. once or twice, but yes, 30 plus states. I'm so sorry about that.
It's okay. I forgive you. Do you have any other fun stories from your travels that you want to share?
Oh man, we saw so many wild. We spent a lot of time at Walmart, and as many people may or may not know, the people of Walmart is a slogan in its own. So we saw a lot of interesting characters out there. For some reason, the first thing I could think of is while we were driving, this was not out of Walmart, this was on the road, but while we were driving, once we got our picture taken and like waves and stuff, because again, it's like a 11-foot tall, gigantic hot dog made out of fiberglass on the highway. This person was driving alone, and he took out his phone and took a picture with both of his hands off the wheel. And this was not like a Tesla or a this was just like a Honda Civic, like a 2012 Honda Accord, you know, like it wasn't like self-driving mode. Takes out the phone, goes both hands for like 10 seconds, and almost hits us because they were trying to take a picture of what they almost crashed into. Like, we had to kind of swerve a little bit and like make them realize that they were coming our way as they took a picture. And for some reason, that was the first thing that came to my mind, because that kind of stuff happened a lot, honestly. There was a guy who stood up on his motorcycle at a red light and took a picture right in front of us.
It would be kind of funny if you got into a car accident and then having to like exchange insurance information with the Oscar Meyer Wienermobile.
That's so true. I would have truly no idea how to go about like any of that. I've never had to do it, and if the first time I had to do it was in that would be nuts. Actually, I will say the first time I ever got pulled over in my life was in the Oscar Meyer Wienermobile, which is a funny, fun fact that I like to say sometimes.
You got pulled over in the hot dog truck.
I did get pulled over once. Yeah,
I need to know
twice,
that. I need to know this story.
Okay. So, the first time was, why did we? Oh, so got pulled over in the Wienermobile for the first time in my life, and it was because our taillights were out. It wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't like some sort of hot dog gun that we were shooting outside the windows and they didn't like it or anything like that. The taillights were out. Pulled us over and they were like, "Hey, the lights are out. You should figure this out. Not cool." And we're like, "Yeah, sorry. We were just at an event. It was really fun. We didn't even notice. Thank you." And we spent like 10 minutes talking to these cops. And eventually asked us about what the heck was going on. But we talked to the cops for like 10 minutes, and it was because the taillights were out. What we didn't know, I was the one driving. What I didn't know was that the taillights were not out. I just didn't turn the lights on correctly because I was so new to the gigantic vehicle that I didn't know how to turn the lights on properly, apparently. It was like the third week on the road with it.
Did you pull out a hot dog and hand it to the cop and go, "What do you say we forget about all this?"
Yeah, I put a little mustard on it, and I said, "You look like a mustard guy. Here, look the other way on this."
Yeah. Did they give you a ticket or a citation or anything?
They did not. They were like, "You know what? It's fine. They were out. You're in a gigantic hot dog. You seem like good kids. We'll let you go. Just go get it fixed right now, and you'll be fine." Luckily, we didn't notice that it was just turned, or I just didn't turn it on until after they were gone. So, like, I don't know what we were messing with. We were messing with the lights, trying to figure it out, and we're like, "Oh, they just must be out." And then they left, and then I flipped to the thing, and I was like, "Oh my God, go see if they're on." And then my other person went in the back, and they're like, "Yep, they're on." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, got pulled."
Well, that's
Imagine
good.
you got a ticket, and then immediately, yeah, true.
That's good that they
The
didn't
second
give
time
you
we're
a
on the
ticket.
highway.
That's that Oscar Meyer Wiener privilege right there.
That's what they say. That's what they say. It felt good. It felt really good.
All right, so, you asked me at the beginning of this about my little journey of peace and whatever. I want to know from you, spiritually, you seem like a deep guy, Dijon. We're 20 minutes in, haven't even spoke about the fact that your name is Dijon. with the mustard thing, and we don't need to because it's not that deep. But you seem like a deep guy, Dijon. I want to know spiritually, philosophically, emotionally. What have you learned from driving the Oscar Meyer Wiener truck?
Wow. Hell of a question. Man, I would say first that there was a lot of things that went wrong that, like if the Wienermobile breaks down, we're like totally clueless, right? We're just like stranded, which again, that's another story that I could tell that also happened, right? We're just stranded. And there's a lot of moments where you could have just given up and like been very negative and angry and like, this is so dumb. Like, why does life do this? Which is totally valid sometimes. You have to wonder those things to make the highs better, right? To make the happy times better. But I think what I learned emotionally, spiritually, mentally, everything you said, was that choosing as best you can, right? For anyone who is able to, choosing your attitude, ideally to be positive, even in situations that aren't so positive, is like the secret to the beginning of some sort of happiness, I think. It's not the secret to happiness. Thinking positive is a magical thing that everyone can just do. It's not some magical thing that I can just do. But there are just some times in that good old gigantic hot dog that I was like, you know what? Try to force myself to be positive right now. I'm going to choose the happy route. I'm going to put on a High School Musical 2 song, and I'm going to jam instead of being sad right now. So I think a positive attitude was something that I learned to have, even when a positive attitude wasn't necessarily what felt like I should have.
They really need to record you saying this and have it be a commercial for Oscar Meyer Wieners.
Thank you. That means a lot. I think that would get a lot of people to buy their hot dogs.
I think so too. It's so far. Everything you're saying right now, by the way, ties into something I was reading about this morning. This concept. I think it's by it's some kind of like Stoic philosophical concept, or I don't know. It's called amor fati, which I think fucking means in Italian or Greek or whatever, love what happens, right? So you're in a giant hot dog, you get pulled over by the police, you know, a woman in a meat suit breaks in, your car breaks down, all this stuff. You just decide to love whatever happens. You decide to go with it. You realize that logically you have nothing to gain by choosing to be upset and pissed off about what happens, and so why not, just for your own damn sake, choose to, you know, be happy and to amor fati, to love what happens, because it'll just make life better. I like that.
Yes. You read about that this morning?
I read about that this morning. I told you I'm on a stupid journey.
Hey man, it's not stupid. It's all right. Wow.
This was a beautiful car. I loved talking about all of this. This had a nice ending to it. I'm glad that you learned something. I'm glad this is what I like about you, man. I think a lot of people could drive a giant hot dog across the country and come back with nothing, but you seem to have come back with a lot.
That is one of the best compliments I've ever received. Seriously, thank you so much. That means a lot to me, man. I appreciate it. I definitely enjoy a lot about you, everything you do. Of course, that's why I called today. So thank you.
Well, thank you, man. One quick question. one quick thing before we go. What are you doing now? Like, what's the next resume item after hot dog driver?
Oh man, doing that quickly is going to be hard for me. I did recruiting for a bit. I got laid off and recently kind of self-discovered that I want to figure out how to be happy in life. Kind of goes with what we just said of choosing some sort of happiness or choosing a route of loving what happens, right? So right now, coincidentally enough, from your inspiration, that is going out and trying to make people happy and make someone's day and make a video out of it and see if I enjoy doing that. And working part-time in a music venue just because I like concerts and events and stuff. So I figured working at them, getting paid to go to them would be super fun too. So that's kind of what I'm up to right now, trying to figure it out and do as much as I can to figure out what I don't like and fail and do all that stuff so I can eventually figure out what I do like in a year or 10 years or 100 years, whatever it may be.
I like that, man. Well, look, if you're going to become a content creator, I feel like What I Learned Driving a Giant Hot Dog is a great clickbait title for a video.
Wow. This is why I need you, man. This is why I need you. Thank you so much. I never even thought of that. I wear a jacket that has a Wienermobile on the back when I go out and right now I'm holding a sign up asking people what their favorite cereal is, just like for a laugh. And I wear a jacket that has a Wienermobile on the back, like a retro windbreaker kind of jacket. It's super sick. So I'm using it, but not directly like that. So you're the genius on the other side of it. So I appreciate
I'm gonna make
that.
I'm gonna make that the title of this episode.
That would be an honor. I could not be more excited about that. That's great.
Dijon, anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Try to choose positivity if you can, whenever you can. And Geck, thank you so much. Like I said, huge inspiration for me, just being like, fuck it. I love talking to people. And so I'm going to try to go talk to people and try to make a living out of it or do it for fun and see where it goes. Which is why I asked you how you're doing at the beginning of this, because I truly talk about that kind of stuff. So I love what you do.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Dijon, you're an American hero. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Wow. I like that. It is very funny that he was talking about all that stuff because I was just reading about that this morning, the idea of loving what happens. Yes, I have been thinking a lot more about how to be happy and how to not have my life driven by anxiety. And I've been really into this idea of paying the taxes of life gladly. Everything you do comes with some kind of tax to it. So, look, driving a giant hot dog, a joy, a pleasure. So the tax is that sometimes it breaks down, and so you pay the tax gladly instead of just fussing over it. I like that. I'm glad that that's what Dijon learned. And I never did think of an actual joke about his name, but again, I don't think I had to. All right, thank you, Dijon. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm a gecko on the computer.
Do I just get into it?
Yes, sure, please.
So, basically, I was dating this guy for a long time, and I got pregnant, and I had a kid on my 19th birthday, and I decided to give him or place him for adoption, and I didn't tell anyone in my family outside of obviously my parents. I kept it a secret from the rest of them.
Did your boyfriend know that you had the kid and gave him away?
Oh, yeah, we dated up until he was about 6 months old, but it was not. I kind of had to overrule, basically make the executive decision to do it because I knew that's what was right, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
because he was very wishy-washy about what he wanted to do, and then in the end, obviously, it didn't work out. So
Okay.
it was better in the long run.
So was this kid an accident, or was this something you guys had agreed upon beforehand?
No, it was definitely an accident.
Okay. And your boyfriend wanted to keep it?
Not at first. At first, he wanted me to have an abortion, and then once I had talked to him about like, oh, we're gonna, like, this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm sure about. I had picked a couple, and we had like gotten to know them and everything, and then he changed his mind, and was like, I can drop out of school, and we can keep him, and make things very complicated, basically.
Well, I mean, fuck you. I mean, you were. I assume neither of you guys have like jobs. You're both in school.
No, yeah, we're both in school, and I work at Starbucks.
Okay. All right. So neither of you were like really that equipped to have a kid, it's cool that you vetted the couple. You didn't just drop the baby off at like a baby dump, and whoever
right, and
free baby on Craigslist.
Yeah, it's an open adoption, so I still talk to them almost every day.
You talk to the parents every day?
Yeah, and we visit a few times a year.
Whoa. The idea of an open adoption is very fascinating to me. What's the scope of the open adoption? How's that work exactly?
Basically, when I found out I was pregnant, I looked up adoption agencies, and really every adoption agency website it's kind of like a catalog, and every family has a profile, and you just look through until you find a few that you like, and then they put you in contact with them. So it's kind of like shopping for a couple, in a way.
You're shopping for parents for your new kid.
Yeah.
Now, well, okay, what I mean by like what I wanted to know about the open adoption is it like, so now forever you're like, is there some kind of legal document that gives you visitation rights, or is it kind of more of a handshake deal?
There is some legal stuff through the agency. They're like we agreed upon, we like FaceTime once a month because they don't live that close to us, and then at least one visit a year. Mm-hmm. And then obviously I had to like sign a lot of paperwork to actually legally place him up for adoption.
I guess what I'm curious about with the paperwork is I'm thinking of a lot of different scenarios, right? Say the parents decide that they don't want you to visit anymore. Do they have legal grounds for that?
I think if they had like a very valid reason, then yeah, like if I don't know, like committed a crime.
Okay.
Or something, was a scary person.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay,
if they were
but
just
so they need a valid reason legally.
Yeah.
I guess with it's tough, this open adoption thing, because it's like, I don't know, it's got to be tough on all three of you, the kid, the parents, and you, because the parents are like, well, we are raising this kid, it's our kid, but it's, you have this kind of undefined role in this kid's life. Like, how do you view your role in this kid's life?
That's actually something I've talked to him about a lot, because he's like a little over a year and a half now, so he doesn't really know anything about anything yet.
Yeah.
I guess the closest we've come to it is like I'm kind of like an aunt in a way. Like, he won't call me. He'll know who I actually am, like that I'm a birth mom, But I guess in the way of like, because I'm obviously not his mom.
Where do you see this situation in 10 years from now?
If I had to think about it right now, I feel like it, because I have a very good relationship with his adoptive parents. And they're not like, they're like proud. Well, not, they're not ashamed that they've adopted a kid instead of like having him biologically, I guess. Like I've already met a lot of their family and things like that. So I feel like it would, as long as things stay how they are now, then it will stay good.
What's the boyfriend's deal?
We dated for a little while after he was born, and then we broke up, and then it was kind of complicated for a little while. He wanted to get back together and whatever. So I don't talk to him at all. The last time I really saw him was at his first birthday, because we both went up there to visit at the same time.
Okay, yeah. So what I'm asking is like, so he's aware of the situation that you have, and does he have the same visitation rights that you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Does he use them as often as you do, or do you even have any idea?
Last time I heard, he doesn't really talk to them as much, which is fine.
It's fascinating.
It's a little strange.
Well, so I was thinking about that just now, because my gut reaction was going to be like, well, I don't know why, if he wanted to keep the baby originally, I don't know why he doesn't visit. And then it dawned on me, well, it's probably painful if he wanted to keep it, to see another person raising his baby.
Yeah, and I've talked to him about that before, like while we were still together. I was like, it would, like, in an ideal situation, yes, it would be fine. But I didn't want to have to raise a kid, passing him back and forth between me and him and his family, and then also deal with not being in school anymore and having to like make ends meet and blah blah blah. Like I would much rather him be in a home, like a stable home with a mom and a dad.
Now, what's your deal? What's are we in school? Are we working? What's going on in your life?
I'm a graphic design major. I do online school, because my job pays for it.
Yeah.
And then I'm a Starbucks barista.
Are you happy about life? Or are you feeling like, well, do you feel like you made the right decision?
I feel like I did. Yeah, I struggled with it a lot at first. But it's weird, because I thought seeing him with them would make things harder, but it helps me. Like, it reassures me that I made the right choice.
Yeah. And I'll say this before we go. I think that's it's a mature decision. It's an extremely mature decision. Because I obviously you anticipated it would make you feel really sad, but you have no how old are these parents?
They're 30.
Okay, all right. So they have like jobs and they're ready, and you guys were not.
Yeah.
And it was a mature decision for you to go, I'm not the best person for this kid, and give it up. So
yeah,
and it's a tough decision, but kudos on you for doing, what you felt like the right thing was.
Thank you.
Also, look, babies suck. So that's another reason why you made the right decision. Just that babies are awful.
Sometimes they do.
Things to have around.
Yeah.
You ever been on an airplane with a baby?
I have, at the same time as a baby, yes. And they cried the entire 4-hour flight. So,
you know what? One of these days you're going to be on a flight and you're going to hear a crying baby and you're going to be like, I knew I made the right choice.
Yep.
Claire, thanks for calling and sharing all this stuff. I know it's kind of a whole crazy thing. Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
No. Thanks for answering my call.
Thank you, Claire.
Have a good one.
I identify as a self-hating baby. Because I hate babies. But I also am a baby. I'm the same. Well, actually, I think don't your fucking cells change when you go from a baby to a older guy thing? So maybe I'm different cells. So that means the baby version of me is dead. That's crazy. Let's take a phone call. Hello.
Hey, is this the Gecko? Hi,
Yeah,
how's
who's
it going?
this?
This is Ricky.
Ricky, what's
Oh,
up, man?
I'm alive. I'm a human. Oh man, I am good. I'm glad that this music is over. The whole music.
How does it feel to be alive? How does it feel to be alive and a human?
It feels it's not as cracked up as people make it seem, to be honest. But honestly, I called because I thought you might be interested in hearing something that a lot of people don't really know about. I'm not sure. So basically, I make people fall asleep with my mouth, and I tell people that, and they always think it's weird, but I found that I kind of have a calling for it, and I think it's a cool thing to talk about.
Okay, I'm not gonna say the thing, but I'm not gonna make the joke that everyone wants me to make. What do you do to make people fall asleep with your mouth?
Oh man, so I do everything from tongue sounds to like different like syllables, but like inaudible. I have different like various tools that I put up to my lips and blow into while tapping. Kind of like I don't know if the kazoo is what that is, but yeah, it's very soothing to the people listening, and I don't know. I think it's something that like has some type of effect on people.
Okay, it says here that you are a ASMR YouTuber.
Yeah. Generally people, I feel like when I tell people ASMR, they always think of something sexual, but it's not. And there are sexual ASMRs, but I think for the general, it's not. And try to kind of.
Okay. Do you want to do some ASMR for us right now?
Yeah.
All right. Let's pretend like we're about to fall asleep. Let's get some ASMR going.
All right. So I like to whisper a lot. So this is something that I like to do with it sounds like water.
Okay. What is this? What is this supposed to be?
So it's supposed to be water drips.
Oh, okay, water drops. Okay, got it. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Can you do grass? Can you make the sound of grass?
I can.
Just whatever, however you want to creatively interpret that.
All right. That's grass.
That's pretty good. Okay, what else you got?
Soothing. So one thing I do is I tap on my stomach, and I have a very big belly, and it kind of gives off the wave of a soothing wave. This is it here. I swear.
Okay. I mean, I can do that too. Here, look. If I do that, it sounds. Let's see what this sounds like. All right, hold on. I'm gonna.
Mm,
How is that for you?
euphoric. Very euphoric.
So what made you want to get into putting people to sleep with your mouth?
Well, honestly, my girl, she tends to fall asleep a lot when I'm talking to her. And I don't know, I thought it was a boring thing at first, but I realized that it's kind of the way I talk. I make a lot of, like, I don't know, emphasis on like B's and K's and something about that. I don't know. It's like a hertz frequency. And I honestly, a lot of people just told me, you know, I should do something with music, but I never really had a talent. So I kind of like, I did one video once, and honestly, it was for food. It wasn't even something that I was thinking about, like, with ASMR, and it turned out to be a good ASMR. So I just decided to focus on that. But yeah, honestly, everyone just that I've known growing up has told me I'm a very soothing person.
Do you ever find yourself falling asleep to your own mouth sounds?
Oh yeah. Actually, it's kind of hard to do the videos itself. I try to, you know, I don't like to drink caffeine very much because, you know, it's very uplifting. But I try to kind of like get stoned to do my videos to kind of like relax me a little bit more. But yeah, it definitely I would say about 20 minutes after shooting a video, I'm knocked out.
Are you stoned right now?
I am kind of always stoned.
I feel that. When I'm not a gecko, I'm pretty much always stoned as well. Not like when I'm not working, like if I'm like, you know, doing any kind of work or any sort of that, I won't get stoned. But when I'm not having to do stuff, I'm usually stoned. It's probably a problem. Listen, it says here that you were recently sucked into a pyramid scheme recently. What is that?
Yeah, oh man, and honestly, I want everyone to beware because it's very crazy. I have social anxiety, and I was going to the grocery store, and funny thing is, I got so stoned before I went because I knew it was going to be like a thing that was like, oh shit, I want to get in and out. But while I was looking at the bread aisle, I was looking on my phone to see which bread was the healthiest bread to get, and this lady walks up to me and just like compliments my jacket. And I didn't think she was talking to me at first, but then I turned around like she was talking. We started conversating. It was very genuine. And eventually we exchanged numbers, and she invited me out to coffee at Starbucks. We went, and it was just like a normal little, like, it wasn't a date, but it was more like a casual, like, friend type of thing. The second time we met for coffee, she started kind of like pitching this. I have a mentor. You can do e-commerce with Amex, I think was the company. And she invited me to this thing that was like in Anaheim. And I live all the way in North Hollywood. It's like an hour and a half away. And I fell more for the relationship than the scam. But when I was on the way to the presentation thing, I was in traffic. I was looking up on my phone, and I saw that there was like a whole bunch of TikToks that had the same story. Like someone in Marshall, someone walked up to them, had a conversation, went to Starbucks, like they tied from literally frame by frame. So I turned around and dipped and blocked her. So I'm pretty sure. I remember her mentioning that name. It's the same name, Amex. Emre, actually, Emre.
Man, wouldn't it be tragic if that's not what was going on at all and you guys were actually meant to be in love?
I know. I've thought about that. And
are you 100% sure that it was a scam?
Well, it feels like it because they made me read this book called, what was it called? Where's My Cheese, or Who Moved My Cheese? And in the book, it's just about like 4 characters that have like characteristics that everyone shares. But there's one character that you don't want to be, and they make you feel like by not doing it, you're that character. And it's like kind of fucked up. I'm pretty sure it was a scam.
I mean, look, honestly. I've never read this book, but I personally, I wouldn't want to be any kind of mouse.
Yeah. especially just eating cheese.
Do you make a lot of money doing
You're
ASMR?
stuck in the matrix. I don't. I wish I did. I'm very small. I literally just started about 6 months ago, and it's a hobby. So anything you don't get paid for is a hobby. But I'm really proud of it. I got the whole setup. I got OBS, and it's a whole thing.
What do you want?
Honestly, I want to.
What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I want to thank you because really, like, you inspired me to do anything social, and that definitely is a big part.
Oh, really? Did I inspire you to want to do ASMR?
Yeah. I have fallen asleep to your podcast multiple times. That definitely counts as an ASMR.
Man, how do you know I'm not trying to rope you into some kind of like streamery cult thing where I'm trying to get people to do ASMR so I can? I don't know. I'm not going anywhere with that. I appreciate this, Ricky.
I'll sign up.
Well, I hope you are able to find legitimate love someday.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am.
Do you have anything else you want to say in a relaxing whispered voice to us before we go?
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to say it was actually I've talked to you before, and I don't know how it was about exactly a year ago. And I don't know exactly how well you remember this, but
well, it says it right here. I keep notes of all that.
Ah, shit, you do.
What were you gonna say?
Well, I dealt with a very intense ass fetish. That's still very intense.
Yeah, you called by somebody named you called by the name of Ricky Rax and said that you have an ass fetish, and then for weeks and weeks and weeks after that, I would get messages from you saying, "Lyle, when are you going to put the ass caller in the podcast?" You remember sending me those messages?
I do. Yeah.
And I never put it in the podcast.
Nah, but it's fine because it was a good memory, honestly. And you got to talk to my wife too.
Yeah, I remember talking to your wife.
That was really cool.
I'll put this in the podcast.
Yeah.
Would that make up for it?
Not that. Yeah, that would be cool.
I
mean, you don't owe me anything, but that would be.
That's true. I don't.
I would play it for everybody on my Discord and friends.
I'll put this in the podcast. I think this is worth it. Maybe I'll put it at the end of the podcast.
I would love for you to check my page out, but I don't want to plug. So
you know what?
If I could send you.
You know what, Ricky Rax? What's your fucking YouTube? What's your YouTube channel? I want to check it out.
All right, man. Thank you. It's actually Ricky Rax ASMR.
I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna play a video for myself right now. Hold on. Ricky Rax ASMR. I wish I had the ability to put this into something. Oh wow. Oh, this is real. This is a whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, you like I said, you inspired me to get a green screen and do the whole 9 yards.
You know what, Ricky Rack? I'm only looking at. Wait, you do dabs ASMR like with fucking?
Yes,
this is hilarious. This is you with a fucking dab rig and dab oil. Fucking making dab ASMR. Yeah. That's actually pretty sweet. Okay, I'm gonna watch that. Wait, this is real. Okay, can I be honest with you? I thought you were fucking with me the whole call. Because I knew that you were the ass fetish guy, and I thought that like, oh, you're just doing another bit. No, this is 100% real. Look at this sushi ASMR. Oh, yeah. You have Raising Cane's chicken ASMR.
Oh yeah, dude, that was so good.
This is just a video of you eating fucking chicken, close up into a microphone.
Yeah, man.
You know what? You know what? I respect you, Ricky Rax. You're really kind of hustling in this ASMR game.
I'm trying. I gotta change the perspective.
Haircut
A lot of people think
ASMR.
it's
This is creative. This is more than I thought it was. Okay, I respect this. Halloween
Thank you. Make a video
ASMR.
soon.
What the fuck is this? Okay. I'm honored to have
you so
inspired
much,
this.
Oh yes, yeah, most definitely, man. I was thinking about even getting a costume and doing it with it on, honestly.
I don't think you need a costume. I think you already kind of have your
Yeah.
thing going.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right,
And
Ricky
yeah,
Rax.
I mean, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And to everyone in the chat, I love this guy. Hold on, dang. That might sound like I love this guy, but I meant to say I love the sky and everything under it.
Hey, the sky loves you too, Ricky Rax. Thanks for calling.
You too, man. Bye.
All right, take care. All right, when I go to sleep tonight, I'm going to listen to, look at this, opening your favorite candy ASMR. Okay, you know, I got to say, I underestimated this guy. I thought he was just fucking around. He's putting his brain to this, and I respect it. Go check out Ricky Rax ASMR. Wait, okay, he called in about having an ass fetish. Why he should make videos, ASMR, ass smacking videos. That's his self-actualization right there. If he can make that video.